What is up, guys? So I've got a little bit of a tech review for you guys today. I've been in the market for a dash cam for a while now, and I finally decided on one. Just based on some reviews on Amazon, I ended up with the Vantrue X1. And just a little disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video or anything. I did decide to just pick this up with my own money, that way I can make this review as accurate and as honest as possible. So I'm going to get into the specs of this camera. I'm going to go over some key features why I decided to get this one compared to some other ones, and then we'll go out on the road, we'll get some test footage, and we'll see how this looks. So yeah, let's get right into it. The X1 records 1080p at 30 frames per second in an MOV format, which you should be able to open in just about any editing program. The lens has a 170-degree field of view with an f1.8 aperture. The X1 features a built-in microphone which can be switched on or off. The camera accepts 32GB micro SD cards by default and can accept up to 64GB with the correct formatting. The X1 features a G sensor which will automatically lock clips in the event of an accident. You can also manually lock clips just in case something crazy happens in front of the car where it doesn't trigger the G sensor. You can lock those clips so that the camera won't automatically overwrite them. One of the key selling points for me with this camera was the parking mode, which will automatically start recording if it senses any motion in front of the car, and then it'll also automatically stop the recording once the motion stops. The only problem is that the small built-in battery isn't quite long enough to last overnight, so if you want to use that feature, you will need to connect to an external power source, such as one of the battery blocks that people use to charge their phone, something like that, just to keep it running overnight. Once the micro SD card is full, it will automatically start rewriting old clips as long as they're not locked. The camera is GPS enabled to record your speed, but unfortunately that's actually a separate accessory that you have to get for $12. Honestly, I think that they could have just included that and just charged $12 more for the camera. There's also an optional hardwiring kit for a nice clean installation, but the camera is really designed to be used plug and play right out of the box. To get started, connect the camera to the suction cup mount. Plug the charging cable into your car's power outlet. It's nice that the charger cable also has a USB port so you can charge your phone while you're using the dash cam. When you turn on the car's ignition, the X1 will automatically turn on and start recording. That way you don't have to forget to hit the record button. Here's some footage driving around in daylight. You can see that the footage has some really nice saturation and contrast, which makes it easy to see license plates and cars on the road. I did find that depending on the angle, sometimes there can be some glare from the dashboard, but it's really not that big of a deal most of the time. Here's some footage driving around in cloudy weather. Now I did find that some of these shots were a little bit underexposed, but it still looks pretty clear overall. At nighttime, the footage does get a little bit noisy, especially on dark roads where it's only illuminated by my headlights. I found that most of the time my headlights would wash out people's license plates unless they were within one car length of me. Driving around the city area late at night, I did find that there was a little bit of glare from the streetlights, but I'm not sure if that was the camera's fault or if I just need to clean my windshield. Alright guys, so right now you're hearing a test of the X1's audio with the built-in microphone. Now you can option to turn the microphone off in case you're having a private conversation or something where you don't want the audio recorded. You can do that. So right now I'm driving on a pretty smooth road with the windows rolled up. I'll go ahead and roll the windows down now. You can kind of hear the difference with that. See if this picks up my voice at all. And alright, I'll roll these windows back up here really quick. Just keep in mind that this is really meant to be a documenting camera. You know, you're not going to be filming a motion picture or anything like that, so I don't expect the audio to be that great, but you should at least be able to pick up my voice. In case something happens on the road, maybe you want to just say a license plate number out loud, just in case the camera doesn't pick it up. You still have that information documented. So yeah, that was just a test of the audio here with the built-in microphone. Here's a look at that parking mode. So I'm just pretending right now to be a bystander, just kind of walking in front of the car, and you can see the camera will automatically turn on and start recording, and then when I leave the frame for 10 seconds and there's no motion in front of the camera will automatically stop recording. Alright guys, so I spent the past couple days playing around with this camera. I recorded in a bunch of different lighting environments, nighttime, daytime, sunny, cloudy. So now I'll come back and give you some of my feedback on the camera. There's one important setting that you guys are going to want to know if you decide to get this camera, the Vantrue X1, and that is the loop recording mode. So by default, it'll just record one giant clip, and you want to put it into the loop mode. I put mine in the 5-minute loop. That way it's going to record in 5-minute intervals, and then every 5 minutes it'll start a new clip. Now that'll make it a lot easier to pull footage onto your computer rather than having to drag like an hour-long, 5-gigabyte video. You can just take the 5-minute clip that you want, and you don't have to, fill up your hard drive with these hour-long clips. So that's a really important setting that you want to choose if you do decide to get this camera. So as far as what I like about the camera, the image quality during the daytime was really excellent. The colors were really vibrant. There was a lot of contrast. You could easily pick up people's license plates as they're driving by, so that's good. So the image quality I think is really great for this camera, especially in this price range. So yeah, I was really impressed with that. Motion activated parking mode was also a really nice feature, although I do wish the battery inside the camera was a little bit larger. That way you can record for longer durations without having to switch to an external battery. It's really nice that the charging cable has a USB port built in. That way, in case your car only has one outlet, you don't have to decide between, charging your phone or using the dash cam. You can still do both with this charging cable. I also like that the charging cable is long enough to reach the center console in my 3 Series, even with the wires tucked in. So it's nice that they were able to give us a really nice long cable for that. I'm also happy that this particular dash cam uses the suction cup mount. A lot of the ones that I looked at on Amazon have the adhesive, which is a lot more permanent. I like the suction cup because you can take it down if you want, you can clean the windshield easily, you can reposition it if you set it up and maybe you don't like the angle that it's filming from, you can always change it. The adhesive is a little bit more permanent, and that's one of the reasons that I went with this one compared to some of the other ones that I was looking at. So as far as cons for this camera, it's kind of disappointing that the GPS feature wasn't built in and that you have to buy a separate accessory for that. Really, I think that they could have just charged an extra $12 for the camera and built that in, and I think people would have still been fine with that. But yeah, that's just one thing. I really wish that the GPS would have been included. Image quality at night really wasn't the best. You can definitely see what's going on in the shot, but there is quite a bit of noise in the video. Also, I found that headlights wash out people's license plates, so unless you're within one car length of the car ahead of you, you're really not going to be able to see people's license plates at nighttime. Overall, I think that this is a really great dash cam for under $100, and like always, I'm going to leave a link down in the description in case you guys want to check this out on Amazon. Now, this brand does make other dash cams at different price points, so you can check those out too. I'm also going to leave a link to the accessories like the hardwiring kit, the GPS accessory, so in case you want to check those out, those will all be linked down in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, you found it informative, and also leave a comment if you enjoyed this type of video on reviews like this. I definitely enjoy making them, and I'm open to reviewing more products if there's enough interest in it. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.